Hello everybody and welcome back. I am the Pompkin King, and today we're taking a tour of our second completed node, the Steampunk Node. This one was a bit different from the horror node just in terms of scale. A lot of building and a lot of research went into this node, and I'm very happy with the results. Starting off, this is my first steampunk house. I kind of steampunked it up a little bit. I also managed to get several steampunk house designs and many other pieces from the incredibly talented people on the Steam Workshop. I have all of the links in the description to all of the pieces that I downloaded, and you should really check it out because these people are insane sometimes. Some of the things that they make are absolutely beautiful. So here we're just kind of coming down the Steam House row. There's 4 or 5 Steam houses here that all fit into this area. And then over on our right we have 221B Baker Street, which is the film accurate one from the BBC Sherlock. We also have this really beautiful horse cart that was developed by Bless Liam. That just seemed appropriate. I'm not really sure why. I just like the idea of having a horse cart full of flowers around. Here's our planetarium with our From the Earth to the Moon VR ride. And then back there's the actual planetarium. That's the dome right back there for that. And then we have our orrery out front, which is the model representation of the solar system, followed by our space exhibit, which is right here in this building behind it. This would have, I imagine, a lot of moon rocks and just sort of space type stuff inside. Coming around the corner up here, we've got the Iron Giant. It's not really the Iron Giant from the movie, but I mean, man, look at this thing. This is what I'm talking about in terms of really talented builders. Like, who thinks to make things like this? Well, apparently Cup of Joe did, because it's awesome. It's an incredible build. Here's our racetrack for our go-karts that we developed. You can see it's a real crowd pleaser. And out front we have the tank cannon, which is by Apollo there. This is Bruno, our elephant, which works both for the Steampunk Node, which we're touring, and the Circus Node, which you might have been able to catch a cheeky little peek glimpse of behind Bruno. We will be getting into that starting next week. But here's the Mrs. Lovett's meat pies, and of course, the 12 Grimold place that we developed for the horror node. These kind of blend the steampunk and horror together, which is something I want to do. I want there to be transitions between the areas. Here's our Royal Albert Hall, inside of which is our Alchemist Flat Ride. Here's another amazing build. This one's by Lonic TV. Just absolutely incredible robot there. Really nice little fountain in the background there. And we, of course, have our Phantom of the Opera Dark Ride, which we toured last time when we did the horror node. Coming around the corner, over here, getting a look at the Royal Albert Hall. Over here, this is our food court. It is a purely imagined building. It's not really based on anything in particular. It's kind of an amalgamation of different buildings. And it's a perfect example of how much I learned about architecture from doing this Steampunk Node. I learned a ton about particularly Gothic and high arch architecture while I was researching for the Steampunk Node. Taken to the skies, over here we have one of the amazing Zeppelins that were made from the Steam Workshop. I have 3 of these, and they are super well done. These are so creative. That's tents making up the blimp part there. Speaking of which, we're going to be coming to our airport here in just a moment. First out front, we have this sort of drill cart. And here is our skyport, where we have our airship docking area. Connected with this, I wanted there to be a hot air balloon, and this is where we put our hot air balloon ride. This is a very low interest ride. There's not a lot of people that bother with it, but at least you can add some you can add some interest to it by having it higher up like this, and a beautiful view of the city. Here we get a better look at the airport, at the Zeppelin docking port. And as we come on up to the top, we're going to get a better look at these airships up here. And once again, they are just so creative. Like, really hats off to everyone who made these pieces and put them on the Steam Workshop. Diving back down, we're heading back over towards the train station now. Over here on our right, this is our Gears of Fear flat ride that we've styled to look like a Victorian factory. This is our little industrial area because we also have our restaurant over here as well. Just going to dive in real quick, take a look at the Gears of Fear. This still remains one of our most popular flat ride attractions. This is a really nice bathroom that's directly opposite that, which I think makes a lot of sense considering how much spinning and tumbling you do on that ride. And of course, we also have our restaurant over here, which is based on a turn-of-the-century Victorian factory. Working our way through some of the steam engines and boilers, we come over now to a kickflip ride. This one is by CT Gremlin, and it really adds to this industrial kind of look that we have for this part of the node, and I think that it's kind of an interesting story. It's like this is sort of like an oil refinery kind of thing. Diving down, this is our staff room for the Steam node. I designed it to look sort of like the London Underground. And as we come up at the other side again, we're back over near the Iron Giant. This time we're going to swing around over to the left and take a look at the Moving House by Kimatax. Here is a beautiful idea, and I love this idea of having a movable house. It's very steampunky. It kind of reminds me a lot of the Howl's Moving Castle. Here we are now at the racetrack. We're going to be taking a ride in the Dragula pretty quick. This is a full tour of the racetrack. I'll just shut up and let you enjoy it. Do take some time to observe the scenery in the background as we do our drive-through. All right, coming off of that, here we have our food truck for the Steam node. This one is themed after the Indiana Jones truck. And here is where we've got our cast iron fountain and sitting area, which I've themed around with some rose bushes and some trees, and just made this nice little garden area that you can come and relax directly opposite our train station as soon as you get off the train here at the Steam node. We got this nice steam car out front here. This one kind of reminds me a bit of the Return to Oz with the Gump, with the weird head on the front. It kind of is a fun little feel to it. We're flying through the Steam Node now, just taking a quick turn around before we take one more look at the last airship. There's where we drive through the Dragula. Coming up over the rooftops, you can see how all of the different heights of the towers on the Steam Node add a lot of verticality to this particular build, and I enjoy having all of this stuff here in the sky as well, including this really excellent airship by Kurisu. And that is going to wrap it up for the Steam Node. If you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and hit that like button. And of course, for more Pure Imagination content, feel free to subscribe. But until next time, I'll see you later.